Hey there, welcome back to Nine Little Aussies. My name is Chrissy and I'm really glad you're here. Welcome. I'm in my kitchen. I'm hoping to very soon get outside into the garden. It is calling my name, but I'm just quickly putting together some dinner. I don't know about you, but I find this time of year tricky because I want to be outside. The sunlight is lasting longer and longer and I really want to be out there, but I also have dinner that needs to be done and I don't want a crazy late dinner because we still have little kids as well as older kids, and the older kids would probably be fine, but trying to get the children in bed at a decent hour so that our evening doesn't end up going crazy late. So figuring out dinner time is tricky. The spring summer season here in America is very different in that respect. Like, it stays daylight way later here than it ever did at home. So yeah, I guess I should be getting in a rhythm of it by now, but every time, like, this is we're here for the 2023, so this will be the third summer that we've been here, and I'm still like, oh no, what do I do? It's just not. So at the moment, my aim is to kind of have an early-ish dinner and then go back outside after dinner and do more gardening and milk the cow, and the kids can play. The little ones play, often the older ones have chores, but yeah, just trying to figure that out. So today I'm making, I've got turkey mince and I'm making a stroganoff. So I've just got some onions, we're browning the mince, a bit of garlic in there. So I will get that together and hopefully be able to move outside pretty soon. Added some mushies, put a little Worcestershire. Okay, I've added tomato paste, salt and pepper, and just give that a mix around. Yeah, so giving that a mix. I'm just quickly defrosting some chicken broth to add in there, and then I'll let it simmer. I might put a squirt of lemon juice, but let it simmer. I'm going to do noodles with it. Sometimes I do rice, but the kids really love the noodles, so I'll probably do that. I have some steak out because I don't know if I've mentioned this, but my husband is doing carnivore at the moment. So he kind of started that after I started Whole30. So we've got a lot going on in the kitchen right now, different things. Just trying to make the best choices we can for our bodies, but keep good, nourishing proteins, carbs, fruits and veggies in there for the children. Will say it has been a crazy busy season at the moment. The next 2 weeks are going to be full on. So I'm trying to fit the garden in around the edges because we have our second son, Jared, is graduating in a couple of weeks, basically like the end of next week. And we've got a friend's wedding on the weekend after that. And there's about 3 other graduations that we're going to of friends. It's just a really busy thing. And graduating here, let me just speak to that for a minute, because I don't know if I've mentioned this, but like, it is completely different. Like, completely different from graduating in Australia. In Australia, it's like, I mean, you have a graduation like event in the school hall at the end of the year for all the year 12s, and you kind of it is a bit of a tradition for Schoolies Week, which is the week after the year 12 students finish, and they will traditionally, and not everyone does this, but go off with friends and spend a week celebrating. Some of them camp, some of them go do wild, crazy things that they shouldn't do. But some of them, you know, for my friends, when we graduated, a bunch of people just went and got a holiday home somewhere and stayed on the coast for a week, and I don't know, different things people do like that. But other than that, it's pretty much just like slap on the back, good job mate, you finished school, now what are you going to do? Whereas here it is a big full-on thing. Like, people make graduation cards and have graduation parties, and like there's all these events, and it's lots of like photos and getting dressed up, and like it's a big deal. So we had no idea what that was or what to expect. What, you know, we just have walked into it and gone, oh, okay, this is, I mean, not that we have to do everything that is culturally the norm, and we don't at all, but it's interesting how different it is. So this is some chicken broth that I made a little while ago, and I just froze in a Ziploc bag. I just stuck it in the sink with some water to try and defrost it. It's defrosted enough now to where that I can put it in here, and I'll be able to let that simmer. I've actually just decided that I don't need all of that, so I sort of broke off enough to put in there, and I'll let that finish melting, defrosting, not melting. And then I'm just gonna put this back in the freezer, or I may put it in the fridge. It's mostly still frozen, what's left in here. I kind of poured off the other. Okay, I am heading outside. We've all eaten dinner, and the family milking, and so I'm going to see what I can get done. Look at this crazy seedling. Look, it's like shooting up like a skyscraper. It's a dragon tongue bean. Isn't that fun? What a cute little thing. Got others coming up here. That's another dragon tongue. Somewhere in here is the loofah. I can't remember where I planted it. Anyway, I really have to, I'm in one of those situations. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I've probably got 30 minutes, maybe 45. And I'm just going to see what I can cram in before the sun goes down and it gets too dark. But I really want to get some things done. I've got a bunch of seedlings need potting up. I've got perennials need to go in along the back fence. I've got 2 little plants I bought the other day that need to go in at the front. And I've got a ton of weeding. So I'm like, which direction do I go? I don't know. Okay, I've decided to come out here and start with these. I bought eggplant and a capsicum, a gypsy mini bell, when I was at Lowe's the other day, which I didn't go for plants, but I just got these 2 little ones. So we're going to put them in this front garden bed here. I'm just going to pull out what I can. Does anyone else battle dollarweed? It's just horrible stuff. I think I'm going to put this eggplant here and maybe a capsicum over there. I think really the only way to battle this dollarweed is to try and pull it out and then dominate the sunshine, which means little tiny seedlings struggle, but I am hoping a bigger plant like this will be able to cope with all that dollarweed there. Okay, we have one little eggplant planted. Hello, Molly girl. Hello, Molly girl. And I'm going to try and put this capsicum in, this bell pepper. Watch out.
other side. All right. Just everywhere. Yeah, so these graduating here is so different. Like I was saying before, so they have graduation parties. The other thing they do that is I'd never heard of before is obviously, and I don't know whether this is an American tradition or a Texas thing maybe. I mean, that could be. Maybe you can tell me if they do this in other parts of America. But they have a senior Sunday at churches. And it's not just like the church we're attending. It is like we've been invited to multiple ones at different churches. And they will have, and we went to some last year, where they will have, on this one dedicated Sunday, they'll have tables all set up in the foyer of the church and photos and memorabilia from that graduating student. And I guess they usually get them all up the front of the church during the service sometime, and they pray over them and kind of just celebrate their girls. Hey, Shadow, that'll do. They celebrate what they have achieved and finishing school, and it's actually pretty neat, but it's very, very different. It's very different, and especially all of the there's ants down here. Especially all of the, you know, doing a table and having, I don't know, like memorabilia type stuff, and I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but that is, I think maybe, and it is not a bad thing. It's like, I think there's actually something really beautiful and good in it, but it's nothing bad about Australia either. It's just very different. Australia, I think Aussies tend to be a bit maybe understated, and Americans will celebrate things more, or make a big deal out of things more than Aussies will. I mean, that's a general sweeping statement, I realize, but just as an observation of the cultures. And I had no idea there was all these little traditions, and there are, not just with graduating, but with like life in general, celebrating different seasons, celebrating different things throughout the year. There's just a lot more of that in this culture than there is in Australia. It's really interesting. I find it fascinating. But a lot of that stuff we had no idea, and so we didn't know or to prepare for it or expect it, or yeah, we're just figuring it out as we go and deciding, well, we want to be a part of that and we want to do that, and we won't worry about that, or whatever the case may be. So my little milkman friend here, he's got the milk.
Me and Titus, we were like on either side of the cow, and we were just going like this.
Were you? Oh, that's why you finished so quick.
Yeah, we were just going like sweat. And then Matilda nearly tipped it over a couple times. So, like, what we did is, once we tried to tip it over the first time, one of us was milking, and then the other one was holding it like this, so he's like moving.
Oh, okay.
And then we got
well, that was good.
Quick. And we didn't even use this. It's all in here.
Oh, so you don't have to wash it?
Yeah, we don't have to wash it.
Less washing, huh?
Less washing.
Sounds like you guys worked smarter, not... No. Yeah, smarter, not harder.
Yeah, smarter, not harder.
Good job.
You got it.
Thank you.
It split a bit. Like,
Yeah,
we
that's okay.
didn't get it straight in the bucket because the teats angled that.
Yeah,
If you face it down, it'll go like that. It's not, it doesn't go straight down, it goes like that.
Her udder's a bit funny looking. Yeah.
So you don't, it doesn't go straight in the bucket.
Good job. So you're going to go filter it, get it in the fridge?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Okay, so I'll get this capsicum in. one actually has 2 capsicums, 2 plants in the one pot. So I'm going to have a look and see if I can separate them and get 2 plants out of it. Or it may not be a good idea if I'm going to have to disturb the roots too much. See if I can have a little squeeze. Ugh. I think it might damage it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to, they're pretty stuck. Maybe if they were smaller, that would have worked. But we'll keep them together, I think. Made a little progress. Maybe I'll just see what other weeding I can get done in this bed and be satisfied with that. So one of the things we have decided to do, we're not going to do a graduation party, but we are doing a graduation table. One of the other really neat things that just for him to be able to experience, like completely unnecessary, but just a neat thing for him to be able to experience, is he has been able to play basketball with a local private school that allows homeschool kids to play on their team, and he's played the last 2 seasons and really enjoyed it, made really good friends through that. But that has also allowed him to go to formal dances and prom and various social kind of events, and he's also going to be able to graduate with his friends that are on that team. So they allow homeschool students to graduate with them if there's some kind of connection there. So he'll be able to walk across and receive his diploma and yeah, just experience what it's like to have an American graduation. When I graduated, let me see, cast back my memory. I'm pretty sure we went out for a special dinner, like my family, my mum and dad and my 2 brothers and me. And we would have, and there was a special like ceremony at the school I went to, like a graduating ceremony, and awards were given out and that kind of thing. But it was not that, like that was pretty much the end of it. And then if you wanted to, you went to schoolies, and then that's it. You're done, and you go on holidays, or you take a gap year, or you launch straight into a job or uni or whatever the case may be. And these herbs, when you I love how when you like this, the sage smells beautiful when you touch it. I love it. Much nicer than the dollar weed. So does anyone else battle dollar weed, and do you have a trick for how to get on top of it? Because the thing about dollar weed is it sends runners under the ground, and it just comes up everywhere from these runners. And this was clean, fresh soil, but it's literally these raised beds here that were new. We put these in last year, and so the dollar weed has come up in the middle of these beds, and it's obviously just sent runners up through from the grass, because the grass here is infested with dollar weed. Now this wire does a fantastic job of keeping the dogs off the garden beds and keeping them secure in that way, but gee, it makes weeding a pain in the bum. Just gets in the way. I kind of like, oh, I wish that wasn't there, but we need it there. See, these are the white runners that it run under the ground, and it sends these up like randomly throughout everywhere. I feel like I don't know, because I don't remember ever seeing this weed in Australia. I'm not saying it wasn't there. Maybe it just wasn't where I lived. I don't know. But it feels like the only way to get rid of it is to dominate the sunlight and stop photosynthesis of the plant. make sure you put larger, bigger, more plants that can sort of dominate in that way. Because wherever I have, unless you have really quick germinating seeds like I did in that other bed, put radishes, and because they germinate so quickly, I was able to sort of weed it fully, sow the radishes, and then because they only come up in 2 or 3 days, they were able to come up and get going before the dollar plant, or whatever it's called, came back. But a lot of seeds take a lot longer than that to germinate, so by the time the poor things germinate, the dollar weed is all over the place again. All right, well, I think we've done a nice job of tidying up that little bed. I think there's still some tangled in the oregano, but I've also just discovered these 2 little tomatoes here. I think they're volunteers from last year. I had in the fall, just in the autumn, I had a couple of tomato plants in there. Anyway, I think that's good. I'll give it a water in. I'll have to go searching for a water can now. Well, I gave this little bed here a bit of a weed as well. I didn't get everything, and it's doing better because I guess the veggies, so it's lettuce, kale, and a bit of silver beet or Swiss chard. That's pretty much all that's in there, but there are grass seeds coming up from underneath because there was hay mulch in this bed, and the dollar weed, of course, is trying to come through, but because there's so much good healthy vegetable leaves on top, it's dominating the sunlight, so that is helping a lot. No room for the weeds. Did you guys see that? It was a hummingbird. They're so beautiful. They come, oh, there he is over there. They come and sit on the little fence, on the wire, and then they dart from the wire here on the raised bed. They dart back and forward to the feeder. The light's getting dim, so I don't know if you can see it, but it's over there right now at the feeder. Beautiful ruby-throated, I think that's what they're called, those hummingbirds. They're so pretty. So lovely to have in the garden. So yes, it is running out of daylight, so I'm going to wrap things up, but I did get 2 beds weeded, and I got the eggplant and the capsicum in, so that was good. Little bit by little bit, hey, in little windows, wherever I can fit it, we will get there. Oh, I did mean to tell you, so we had the stroganoff for dinner. Well, the children had the stroganoff for dinner. I cooked some steak for my husband, and I had some of that with some kale out of the garden, just stir fried, which was lovely, and some spinach, kale and spinach stir fried. But what was I going to tell you? Oh, the stroganoff. So I started showing you, and I thought I'll just tell you really quick in case you were watching and going, oh, what does she do next? So I had got to the point of having pretty much everything in and just simmering, and then I cooked some spaghetti noodles. That's the kids' favorite. That's what they like. Girls. Okay, what I was going to tell you before I was rudely interrupted by the dogs. I had got it to the point of simmering. So then all I did later was go add some sour cream and stir it through and put the noodles in and stir them through. And yeah, stroganoff is a meal that we have quite often, and it's a bit of a family favorite. And I often do beef stroganoff, sometimes chicken, but this turkey mince was really cheap. Just another cultural difference. Turkey is not something Aussies eat a lot of at all. There's been more of it in the shops over there, you know, in maybe the last decade, but it's not normally something we eat a lot of. Whereas here it seems that there's a lot of it, not just at Thanksgiving when you might buy a big turkey, or Christmas, but turkey mince is pretty common. And I've seen a lot of turkey bacon, which is not something that you see very commonly in Australia either. So anyway, interesting little side note. But this turkey mince that we had, or turkey, what would you guys, turkey ground turkey, probably ground turkey, sorry, I'm saying the wrong thing. Ground turkey made into stroganoff was a hit. The kids liked it. They're not a super big fan of turkey. Of turkey ground up. They like it when I do like a baked, like a whole turkey. They like that. Anyway, it's just curious, all the different little idiosyncrasies that go with different cultures and getting to know them. It's fun. It's really interesting, and we are learning a lot. So thanks for hanging out with me in the garden and the kitchen as I run around and get little snippets done. I do hope you have enjoyed your stay, and I hope you will return. And yeah, I'll be back here again tomorrow. Sunshine and raindrops. Until then, see ya.